This show is sponsored by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out the Facebook page, Alicia's Pillows and Things, where you will find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. Check out the pillows and stools of your favorite sports teams. Maybe you want a set of your kid's favorite cartoon or movie character. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to ngscsports.com and go to the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage to complete your order. It makes a great gift for Christmas at an affordable price. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
If I win the lottery, that's the first thing I'm going to buy.
I will say I have no interest in it whatsoever, but there's the just because it looks kind of cool. It's the Chevy that they have in the commercials that has the back camera where somehow it makes it that even if like you're towing something behind it, you can
you
see.
can see around it.
Yeah, how I don't really understand how that works.
All I know is ghost technology.
Apparently, that's it.
Apparently, the only people that have it are Chevrolet and SEAL Team 6.
Hey, and if there's two groups in the world that need to have it, it's those two.
Well, all I can say is, GMC is the official vehicle sponsor of the TV show on CBS, SEAL Team. So,
oh, well, okay.
Obviously, those two are hand in hand there.
I mean, it makes sense, really, when you think about
Totally
it.
does. I mean, Chevrolet's awesome. SEAL Team's awesome. Mm-hmm. And if anyone could help Chevrolet escape their contract with Manchester United.
Oh, it would be SEAL Team 6.
If anyone could rescue them, it would be SEAL Team 6, right? Or the clause. Now, have you actually heard that apparently Chevrolet's out starting next year?
No, I didn't.
Apparently there is an out in their contract. Like if United misses the Champions League a certain amount of years, that they can get out.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so fun.
So that's what I've heard.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing to see Ed Woodward try to spin that. Oh, that's great.
Especially if their next one has to be like Yugo or something like that. No, it'd be like me go from a Chevrolet to a Kia.
Yeah. Peugeot, what is that? It's a Brazilian car maker. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
He's Russian.
Yes. No one gets one over on Ed Woodward, not even the Russians.
Not even the Russians. Well, obviously no one can say Ed Woodward has any dealings with American politics.
That's true.
If he can't get over on the Russians.
Oh, man. What a poor sap.
Everyone in the Russians, wow.
Oh, man. Welcome everyone to the Foreign Affair Podcast, episode 285.
Including all of you Russians who are listening and just like, I'm going to hack the shit out of these assholes now.
Hey, we're good people. We're good people, I think.
We're also basically the Stone Age of podcasts. So.
It's true. It's actually true.
Although, don't cost us all the money we make off this.
Yeah, I know. God, no. Don't. I keep telling you, Athletic and Tostitos, if you guys really just want to jump in, now is the perfect time. Get in on the
Apparently, Chevrolet has some free money coming up.
Hey, there you go. Oh, man.
I mean, he said he's buying a Traverse. I just pimped out a 2500 Duramax diesel Allison transmission package.
There you go.
Well, come on, guys.
It's not that hard.
Throw me a Chevy Cobalt for a thanks, at least.
The man's doing your work for you. Welcome to the Foreign Affair Podcast, episode 285. I am Edward Green, joined as always by McCall in Crime, Wes Bradshaw. And we have a big pod for you guys this week. We're gonna do of course our Premier League review. We're gonna do it a little differently than we do. We like to change it up every once in a while. Still gonna talk about the matches, don't you worry. Some big matches took place this weekend. But we'll do a little this or that with Eddie and the cap. Yeah, that because Wes is the captain. So that makes sense. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to talk Champions League. It was a big week in the Champions League as well. We are through the first set of round-robin matches here in the Champions League group stage, so we will get to the updates on that. Of course, we have the news and notes, which is quite possibly going to be the most depressing news and notes ever assembled.
Sorry, folks, no Rooney Vardy war this week.
No. Oh man, this is actually terrible. But hey, maybe things will pick up when we hit watch 4, and maybe we'll even get a So Elite Raw this week.
Maybe a little something.
Hey, oh man, I gotta tell you what, people have been just posting things that Brennan Williams is referencing on Raw. So I know that this week he referenced Persona. That was good. He referenced Sonic spinning around at the speed of sound. That's amazing. He referenced Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Isn't it great that you now understand Raw better than I do?
Yes.
I'm sitting here like, I understand spinning around like Sonic. Everything else, I'm sitting here like,
rise up, young man, and become a legend.
I'm like, are you doing your watch for right now?
Oh man, Brennan Williams says he's not making anime real. He's making weeb culture real. Oh man, I can't wait till. Oh, it's great. It's great. I love it. And now everybody's gonna realize you've all been watching anime all this time. It's just real actors who throw each other around the ring. It's still anime. It's all anime. So, yay. It's going to be great. As always, though, the podcast is presented by NGSC Sports at NGSCsports.com. We never stop. As well as Alicia's Pillows and Things. Listen.
Damn right.
Listen. Hey, right now, You're a Houston Astros fan. You're right now tied at 2 going in to the final third of regulation here in Game 2 of the World Series against the Washington Nationals. Last night I know did not go as well as you wanted it to. And hey, I know there's things that happened this past week that you may not have super enjoyed as an Astros fan. But hey, if you need some consolation and to get away from the terrible people apparently that run your organization, check out Alicia's Pillows and Things and just get a Houston Astros body pillow, because there is nothing more innocent and pure than a body-sized pillow with the Houston Astros logo on it. That is choice, my friends. Absolutely choice. And Alicia's Pillows and Things can hook you up with that. How did that pitch not hit him? That's so weird. So go check it out. Alicia's Pillows and Things on Facebook. She has some great stuff there. Not just body pillows. She has a ton of stuff that she can make for you, as well as already made things. And also check out NGSCsports.com for some great deals from her store. Once again, that is Alicia's Pillows and Things, your source for body pillows of sadness.
And I don't know if you can customize those at all, but maybe don't put the word Asuna on the back of it.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Oh God, it's a fucking asshole. Do we want to talk about that, or just move on?
We can a little later if we want. Okay. That can be part of news and notes if we want to go there. Right?
Yeah, let's make news and notes even more depressing.
Exactly. It's really hurt feelings.
Oh God! All right, you know what's not depressing, Wes? Well, I guess it could be sort of theoretically. Hey, the Premier League is back this weekend.
I'll tell you what, it's not depressing to sit atop the old pram.
Hey, there you go. That's the That's Wes Positive Bradshaw talking right now. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna run through a quick recap of all the scores from this week, and then we're gonna go into our little game sort of thing we're gonna play, and in that we can kind of break down some of these matches a little bit more. But first, just the scores and highlights. Everton beats West Ham 2-0, a much needed Evertonian win. Bernard. Love Bernard. Scores in the 17th minute, and Gylfi Sigurdsson puts one right in at the end to get the Blues all 3 points against the Irons. Aston Villa beats Brighton and Hove 2-1. Jack Grealish getting his name on the score sheet, and Matt Targett was on it in the 94th minute to get Aston Villa 3 points. Aston Villa starting to put together a little bit of a good run here and starting to creep up the table. Chelsea get a Marcos Alonso goal in the 73rd minute to beat Newcastle and continue their painful season. Leicester beats Burnley 2-1 after an early Chris Wood goal in that one. Jamie Vardy had his party at the half, and then Yuri Tielemans. Ooh, is that a Kurt Suzuki home run? Oh my God.
Bingo, bango.
Bingo, bango, bong. All I saw is I see I have the game cast up here on my phone.
Somewhere Landon Powell's going, damn it, I don't have a job.
I just see in play runs and I see no men on base. So that's the only possible outcome. Yuri Tielemans with the winner in the match for Leicester City. Tottenham ends their poor streak sort of by sneaking out a point against Watford at New Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They had to overcome an early goal from the struggling Hornets, but Dele Alli finally puts his name in the scorebooks this season and gets the goal in the 86th minute to get Tottenham a much-needed point in the Prem. Wolves and Southampton also drew 1-1. Danny Ings, the scorer for Southampton, but Raul Jimenez penalty strike got the Wolves back level. Bournemouth and Norwich played to a 0-0 draw. It happened. Trust us. Manchester City back to winning ways and starting their own little streak now. 2-0 is the win at Crystal Palace. A tricky place to play. I believe, I could be very wrong. I believe City lost at Palace last year. Or am I crazy?
Yes.
They did. Okay.
That was part of that December to not remember.
Yeah. It was. But Gabriel Jesus and David Silva scoring just a few minutes apart at the end of the first half to get them the win there. Sunday's one match was United 1, Liverpool 1. Again, we will definitely be talking about this later. The forgotten son, Adam Lallana, getting the equalizing goal for Liverpool at the back end of that match to spoil Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's.
It would have been, at 1-1. It was United's biggest win of the year.
That's true. It's a point that they didn't think they'd get. Marcus Rashford, the scorer for United in that one. And then on Monday, I almost want to say a result of the weekend. That may be true. That may not be true. I don't know. But Sheffield United beats Arsenal 1-0 at Bramall Lane, which is becoming quite the thorns and bramble. Yeah, whatever. Just a fantastic goal.
I'm laughing internally.
Thank you. A fantastic team goal ended by Elise Mousset, getting his first goal of the season in the 30th minute. And Sheffield United holds on to beat Arsenal. Arsenal, I believe, have won 4 out of their last 18 road matches, I believe is the stat. I could be very wrong. In fact, I'm going to look at the match report real quick.
We could ask Mesut Ozil. He wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't get the crowd.
Oh man, yeah, match.
Because Arsenal are playing so well, they don't need any help.
That's true. Oh man, when did we turn back in Mesut Ozil's favor? When did that happen?
I've always said Mesut Ozil's the best player in the Premier League. Come on.
Of course you have. Nobody checked those tapes. All right. So what we're gonna do here is this is a thing I'm gonna call "Who's Happier?" parenthetically or sadder ? So the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna put 2 teams, and we're gonna ask the question of who's happier after the weekend's results. And the first one we can do, which is appropriate because these 2 teams play each other in the AFA podcast derby this coming Sunday. Liverpool and Spurs. Liverpool and Spurs both having somewhat similar matches, giving up early goals in the first half and fighting back late to get an equalizing goal. Different circumstances, of course, for Tottenham playing one of the worst teams in the league. I guess that's sort of the same for what Liverpool had to do.
I was actually kind of the same.
Gotcha again, United. But both needing this late magic to get a point and sort of, for Tottenham, stop a skid that they were sort of on in the Premier League, and for Liverpool to keep their unbeaten streak alive. The perfect streak is gone, but now they did get a point late on. So, Wes, I ask you, who's happier with their 1-1 draw coming out of the weekend? Is it Tottenham or is it Liverpool? And if you want to talk about the Liverpool match, of course, you're more than welcome to in this segment.
Sure. I mean, I think both teams have got to be, if you look at where they were in the match, both teams are pleased with the draw. Mm-hmm. I know Klopp's not happy for a myriad of reasons. There was basically United's goal should not have counted.
Yeah, I saw that. It was close, because, very close.
Divock Origi was basically like gang tackled to start the play. And by the letter of the law, VAR should have been checked on that, or could have been checked on that.
VAR's great, isn't it?
Stop the goal. But, apparently with VAR, the Premier League referees have all made the decision that they're not going to use the screen this year.
It's bizarre.
I mean, this is like legitimate. They said, yeah, we're not going to use the screen. It's like, oh, so we put it there for what reason?
I for the first time I heard that, I thought it was somebody just being facetious. And the more I read about it, I was like, no, they're actually just not doing it.
Yeah, that's the truth. Some people have different opinion. Was it a foul? Was it not a foul? I will just put it this way. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in his post-match interview, he said, it definitely wasn't a foul. He said, you ask Roy Keane, he'll agree with me. They go to Roy Keane. It was definitely a foul. I don't know what he's talking about. This is Roy Keane, who, A, is like proper hard.
Yes, he is.
B, hates Liverpool. I mean, made a hobby out of like decimating Liverpool dreams during his playing career. Makes a hobby of like decimating Liverpool in the, on the punditry side. I mean, Roy Keane's not going to give us shit. And Roy Keane's like, oh, God, it was definitely a foul. So, in one sense, maybe United's goal shouldn't have counted. In the other sense, Mane had a goal wiped off just before halftime. Correct call. He did handle the ball illegally. Mm-hmm. So, no issue with that. God, second half, this is crazy to think of. Second half, United had the ball 20% of the time in the second half.
Yeah, they're just holding on for dear life towards the end.
United are completely came into the game. They play 5 at the back. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're undoubtedly looking for counterattack, mm-hmm. which, a lot of people are giving them shit about. Why would you give them shit about? I mean, that's what they are. That's who they are. Especially with no Pogba in there.
And also going 5 at the back, it allowed them to focus on what is one of Liverpool's biggest strengths, and that is the use of their fullbacks in Robertson mm-hmm. and Arnold to be able to get forward and put pressure. And by playing 5 at the back, you can sort of try to at least negate that a little bit.
Right, and that's exactly what they did, is they slowed that down. And with Liverpool's midfield of Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Fabinho, don't get me wrong, that is a good midfield, but it is not. That midfield is not made to break down that kind of a system. Mm-hmm. As was seen later when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita came in, and suddenly Liverpool looked extremely dangerous late in that match. They had already had one ball go right over the bar. They had another one, after the equalizer, Oxlade-Chamberlain almost won it if he hadn't drug a ball about 2 feet wide of the net. They were getting in extremely dangerous positions late. You can say, well, a couple more minutes, but I mean, shit, we had 5 minutes added time. That's what it is. But maybe if Liverpool had been able to pull the trigger and go a little earlier into that midfield, things definitely opened up. Liverpool became much, much, much more dangerous late in that match. And we're maybe a little unlucky not to find a winner after the Lallana equalizer. Naby Keita got that whole thing going, got that good pass to Robertson, who put it across the box. And United basically had three guys just stand there and stare at the ball and go, "Ooh, look, a ball. What's that guy in that white shirt doing standing there?" Oh, shucks. So that's kind of what happened. And Lallana was in the right place, didn't try to do too much with it. The old veteran he is just put his foot out, directed it into the goal. And Liverpool got what I thought was a well-deserved draw. I mean, I think on the day, Liverpool like shit in the first half. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was complete dog shit in the first half. Overall, I thought Liverpool were the better team on the day. But coming out of Old Trafford with the way we went in there and played, you could say we didn't deserve to go get a win. I wouldn't have an issue with that. So
okay.
But yeah, end of the day, I would still say good draw when you look at if you look at the match beforehand and say you're going to get a 1-1 draw, we all would have been like, "You got to be shitting me! What the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
But during the course of the match and the way that match played out, I'll take that 1-1 draw. Yeah, it would have been devastating to go lose to those assholes.
Yes.
God, that would have sucked so bad. But no Salah, and they took the fullbacks mostly out of it. So good on United, good on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his masterclass of tactics on how to park a bus. And Josie would have been proud. I say he would have been proud. He had plenty to say about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, he wants old Solskjaer's job. Being able to just keep thinking into the future and building towards that, as he said.
My favorite, I think that my favorite comment he made though was about Klopp, where saying, okay, so basically here's the deal: Liverpool go into this matchup, and Liverpool looked like they went in ready to play the Derby, which the Derby is hard-nosed. The Derby, it's hard, it's tough, it's, putting in the hard tackles, it's playing the hard times, and, up and down and trying to win. Well, that ain't how United want to play. United basically parked the bus, pat the box, didn't want to come out and do anything. Finally when Liverpool put those guys in late to open things up, that's when things started getting more their way. And Josie made the comment, and it's actually a brilliant comment. By the way, Jose Mourinho may be the best commentator ever.
He's amazing.
I
almost don't want him to get another job just so he can stay doing this.
I mean, this dude is just, and oh my God, you send him to United, and he just, he is. I understand why he and Zlatan were just perfect for each other. By the way, I mean, they are two peas in a pod. These guys are great. The other day he takes a bow after the match to the United fans. It was great. But he made the comment. He said Jurgen Klopp came in. I'm paraphrasing. He said he expected beef. He got fish.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, Josie's way of saying, Klopp set up to play one way and then, expecting to get beef and was served an entirely different dish.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was done United, and give it up to Solskjaer. I mean, Solskjaer did what he had to do. Yes, the romantics of us all want to get in and, say, "Oh, come on, United, give them a go. It's a derby. Give them a go." Well, Ollie understands my team is not as good as what they have.
That's true.
I can't go out there and try to stand toe-to-toe with Liverpool. If I do, I'm going to get beat. I'm going to get beat badly. That's called being Arsene Wenger.
Pragmatism.
Yeah. I mean, that's called being Wenger. When you're facing a superior team, you're like, "Well, I play my way, and that is it. I will not change for anyone." And then you get me 5-0, and after the match, I do not know what's happened. No, you know what happened. You fucked yourself. So, I will give it up to Solskjaer. He did a very good tactical job. Got the job done, got the point. It was a good point for him. For Liverpool, once again, just in the way that match played out, I'll take the point. I would have rather had all three. But that does go to kind of a bigger topic. since Klopp has come in, his only victory at Old Trafford or at Goodison has been against United in Europa that first year he was there.
Yeah.
That is Klopp's only victory at our two biggest rivals. So, of course, that's why some Liverpool go, Klopp don't know what he's doing, Klopp. No, you're still fools. You're still 127% fools. But, you know what? It would have been nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice just to go to the big rivals, especially when the big rivals are shit, and go get a damn win. So, just throwing that out there, Jurgen. You're my boy, Jurg. You know I got nothing bad to say against the old Klopster. But it would be nice.
Well, we talked a lot about
Washington just scored again.
Oh my! We talked a lot about United in this segment, and they're actually going to be part of our next Who's Happier or Sadder. And this is going to be City versus United. Who's happier with the result of the United versus Liverpool matchup? Is it United picking up a draw against their arch nemesis in a season and ending their perfect start to the season? Or is it City who's like, oh, well, that's finally 2 points dropped by them that we can now catch up to them a little bit and making it just slightly closer in the table. So who do you think of the Manchester clubs is happier with that result?
I understand where you're coming from with City side, but I still think it's United just for the fact that they were told all week they were going to get their asses handed to them.
Yep. All 11 Liverpool players, if you had to pick a team, combined team, all 11.
Yeah. Like, literally the only one I saw in a combined 11 had Pogba in it. It's like, this motherfucker ain't even playing. So, I think on that end, it's got to be United. But also for City, I'll say this, it's still somewhat early in the season. And I think City have enough arrogance to them, and I'm not saying in a bad way at all. I just think City have enough arrogance. It's like, okay. I mean, they can do what they want early. We'll walk them down. I think that's how City is thinking of Liverpool, is that November 9th off the top of my head. That it's either the 9th or the 11th. I can't remember. But that match is looming so big on the horizon that's going to be City's chance to not only basically have a 6-point swing, but also to reassert their dominance over Liverpool. And suddenly then when Liverpool opens their eyes the next morning, it wouldn't only be, we lost 3 and they got 3, a 6-point swing. Not only that, but it would be City sitting there just grinning, going, y'all talk about how much you're in our head, but obviously we're in yours.
Yeah. And
So,
and it does.
yeah.
It should be said that at this point,
Trey Turner, base hit, 1 run scores, 2 run scores, 6-2 Washington.
if City ran the gauntlet and won their next 29 in a row, they would most likely, based on goal differential, depending on that, would win the Premier League at this point. So that is where things stand right now. That is, with as good a start as Liverpool has had to this season, City in theory could win out and would win the Premier League no matter what else Liverpool did, unless they scored a bajillion goals and made up the goal differential. So there you go. That's the interesting part of it. All right, so this one we're gonna go from the top to the bottom to top by stop. Norwich versus Watford. Watford needed something. They're still the only team that is yet to pick up a victory in the Premier League. But they did get a big draw at Tottenham, this was, of course, a Tottenham who needed points and almost ended up picking up the win there, did Watford. Whereas Norwich, newly up into the Premier League again this year, got that very big win against City. Timo Pukki has been such a huge hit, and yet they're sitting 19th and 20th. So after this weekend where Watford gets their 1-1 draw and Norwich also draws 0-0 at Bournemouth, who do you think's starting to feel better about their season? Is Watford starting to gain some confidence, or should Norwich still feel better overall given that they've managed to pluck a few big wins on their sheet so far, while Watford have still gone winless.
I believe right now Norwich is still in a much better mood than Watford.
Okay.
For the simple fact that Norwich are playing with house money.
Okay.
I mean, Norwich aren't supposed to be shit this year. Watford, on the other hand, Watford were supposed to challenge for that top half of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And they're finding themselves on a world of shit right now. So I think Norwich weren't happy about the way their draw played out.
Mm-hmm.
And who the hell would have thought Norwich and Bournemouth would have gone 0-0?
Two titanic offenses and terrible defenses. No,
I mean, that thing had like 4-4 written all over it.
Yes, it did.
So I don't think they're really happy about the way they did it, or they can look at it and say, man, what a showcase. But I just don't think Watford are in a bad mood right now. Or Watford, I'm sorry. I don't think Norwich are in a bad mood right now just because of how their season's played out so far and their expectations.
Okay. So that's two teams at the bottom who are trying to look at the positives. Let's look at maybe, I don't want to say a surprise for one of these teams, because one of these teams was picked to finish pretty high up in the table, and that's Leicester City. Leicester right now sitting in joint third with Chelsea, doing a little better on goal differential. And then just a few spots down, though, is Crystal Palace. So who should feel better about the start of the season? Because on the one hand, you have Leicester, who everybody pretty much thought if there is a team outside of the, quote, Big Six who could jump up into the top six this year, it would be Leicester. And Leicester have looked very good in a lot of their matches this year. But I think very few people pick Crystal Palace to be a top half of the table team, and here they are right now in sixth place. So who's feeling better at this point, almost 10 matches into the season? Is it Leicester or is it Crystal Palace?
I think it's still Leicester, even though, they were predicted to be higher. But when you look at them, they've gone out and they've done a really good job to start this season. Oh, my goodness. Houston's throwing this shit away.
Oh, no.
7-2.
Oh, my God.
Ryan Zimmerman just legged out an infield hit. Of all things.
Wow.
With Leicester, they've got to take into account the fact that they have started the season very well. Plus, it's 8-2. Never mind, they scored 2 runs there. On top of the fact that Arsenal, Tottenham, United are all showing big-time signs of this might not work.
Mm-hmm.
And for Leicester, that's big because to break into the top 4, you got to jump somebody. It's got to be. You got to get by one of those Big Six. And obviously, Liverpool and City are fine, dandy, doing whatever they want. But then, those next 4. Obviously right now Tottenham's the one who's really struggling because I don't think anybody expected it to be this bad for Tottenham. They're struggling. The other 2, I think, were big question marks anyway. But Leicester had to get by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Chelsea looking like they're coming around, Leicester need to find that 4th spot. And I think they're doing a really good job of doing it. Crystal Palace, I don't know how you feel. I just kind of have this feeling that Crystal Palace are a house of cards.
I look at them and I feel like their strength of schedule for me is the thing that's really sticking out. They got embarrassed at Tottenham. They drew against Wolves, which I guess there's nothing bad about that, but that's a home draw. And then you look, their only wins are at home to Norwich, on the road at West Ham, on the road at United, which is their best win of the year, and then on the road at Aston Villa. At home against Aston Villa. They've lost to Sheffield United, they lost to Tottenham, like I said, and then they lost to City. And then they drew against Everton and Wolves. I think this coming up match against Arsenal might tell us a lot. They will be playing Arsenal at the Emirates this weekend, and I think that could tell us maybe a little bit more. And then this is I say this will tell us. No, this next month will tell us Palace, because this is their schedule coming up. This weekend it's Arsenal, then it's at home against Leicester, then it's at Chelsea, and then it's home for Liverpool.
Yeah.
So we'll know in 4 weeks exactly how sturdy that house of cards is for Crystal Palace.
How will Roy's head hang?
I think if they can pull off a win and a couple draws out of that, that would be massive. Because that is an absolute murderer's row right now for Palace. So
at least you get to break in with the
yes, the softest. I mean, if you think about it, if you
I mean, I'm not lying there. I mean, you got
no. I mean, if you look at it,
2-1.
Yeah. So that is crazy how this schedule is broken like that. So so we will definitely see in the coming weeks how good really is Palace. And then our final little one we're going to do here. This is very mid-table. These are two promoted teams, Wes, and I don't think either one of us had super high hopes for these teams. But one is Sheffield United and the other is Aston Villa. Both are squarely in that mid-table. Sheffield United right now in joint 7th on points. Aston Villa, I believe, are in 11th. And you look, Sheffield United have done pretty well overall this year. They've won at Everton. They won, as we said, against Crystal Palace, and then picked up this big win against Arsenal. Lost just 1-0 a couple weeks ago against Liverpool and put up a good fight there.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have Aston Villa, again, a team I don't think many people had high hopes for. They led pretty late into their opener against Tottenham before capitulating. They beat Everton, as apparently everybody is. Lost a close one against Arsenal 3-2. Beat Norwich 5-1. And then as Palace are about to embark on their crucible, so too now are Villa, as their next three are against City, Liverpool, and Wolves. But, who should feel better about the start of the season? And maybe this is the closest thing to a push out of all 5 of these questions. Is it Sheffield United, who are back in the Premier League for the first time in a very, very long time in the top flight, and who have broken into the top half of the table? Or is it Villa, who I'm sure some people had as a potential, again, relegation candidate, and they've been pretty good this year?
See, personally, and we might have to go back and check, I want to say that I thought Villa could have a pretty good year. I thought Villa had a pretty nice base intact, and I thought they did some good business in the offseason.
Let me just look real quick at our... okay, so... okay, well, you didn't put them in the bottom 4.
Did I have them in the bottom 4? Did I have them beating relegation?
No. You did not have them in the bottom 4.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Yeah, I thought Villa could be pretty good.
I had them in 19th. So,
Yeah. And understand. I thought Villa was maybe ready to do a little something. Sheffield, here's the thing. I like how this Sheffield team is built. Mm-hmm. And it still remains to be seen, obviously. I just didn't think they had enough to survive the rigors of this Premier League season. Mm-hmm. But, man, I'll tell you, the one thing about Sheffield, they're proper hard.
Undefeated at home. 2 wins and 3 draws.
They're tough, and they're mean, and they're nasty, and they play hard. I mean, I'll say this, and this isn't to demean them in any way, but, I mean, they're kind of like Sam Allardyce's wet dream.
No, I know what you mean.
I mean, they're built in that mold where, it's going to be the defense. I mean, they're going to – but that's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what they've got to do. They've got to do it to a chance.
They're the anti-Norwich.
They are. I mean, they don't play like Norwich, and they don't have the money, buy big-time players. Even if they did have the money right now, they cachet to go get those guys. When you're a team, especially who gets promoted, and you're going to fight a relegation battle, you've got to do. Excuse me, Ed. God, just talking about their style of play makes me yawn. You've got to do what you've got to do, and to hell with what anyone says about you. Mm-hmm. I mean, to hell with anybody talking shit and, oh, you don't play pretty football. Who gives a shit if I'm winning, if I'm staying up? That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I give all the credit in the world to Sheffield United, their manager. I mean, they're very British. I think out of their regular starting 11, 10 of them are Brits.
Mm-hmm.
And then like one Frenchman, which I kind of enjoy actually.
Yeah, it's Mousset.
Yeah, proper hard.
Yeah.
So, man, give it up to Sheffield. But I mean, also take 0 away from Villa. I just thought Villa were going to be able to compete in that maybe lower mid-table.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think Villa would be in a relegation strap. And it didn't look good early, but they're turning around. Jack Grealish is making his argument for an England call-up. He's turning into the player that people said he would when he was 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. God, I couldn't believe the other day I saw something. He's 24 now.
God, I didn't realize
shit.
It. I thought he was still early 20s.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, God, Bruce is 24. Shit, okay. So, watching them, they're coming together. I think they're a pretty good team. I don't think they're going to be in a battle. I could still see Sheffield finding themselves in a battle.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they've got enough scrap and grit to at least be ready for that fight.
Proper hard Englishmen. All right, and those proper hard Englishmen will be taking back to the pitch this weekend in the Premier League as we start match week 10 on this Friday with Friday Night Football on NBC Sports. 3 p.m. Southampton hosts Leicester as the Foxes look to continue their ascendancy up the table. Then on Saturday at 7:30, those villains will be heading to the Etihad. We'll see if there's many influencers in the crowd this week from Manchester City as they take...
That's for Champions League matches.
Damn.
Yeah.
It still works. I don't care. I'm not apologizing for that joke.
Never
10 a.m., you get the choice of West Ham versus Sheffield, Watford versus Bournemouth, and Brighton and Hove versus Everton. And at 12:30, marquee match of the day, it's Burnley versus Chelsea from Turf Moor. Can't all be winners, folks. On Sunday, you have one match at 10. That's Newcastle versus Wolves. Then at 12:30, you get 3 big matches, including Arsenal versus Palace, Liverpool versus Tottenham in the AFA Pod Derby, and Norwich versus Manchester United. Can Timo Pukki put 8 past De Gea?
So you've got a battle of top half teams.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a battle of mid-table teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a battle of bottom of the table teams. Good job, United.
Good job, United. Thanks for the symmetry on that.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
Oh,
That's
man.
right. We got the derby this weekend.
Any thoughts going into it?
God, man, this is one of those. I mean, we've seen enough of these to kind of throw the record book out sometime.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening in this series.
But, I mean, this all comes down to whatever Tottenham's mentality.
Yeah.
The 1-1 draw to Watford this weekend, that was bad. I mean, the Champions League week was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was good to get some guys going. But then at the same time, Pochettino rested a lot of regulars. So they didn't really get in on the good time feeling.
Well, then the question becomes, was he resting them, or is this the team?
Right. Will Tottenham channel their, let's try to get some revenge for the Champions League final?
Mm-hmm.
Then again, man, I just don't know if they're good. I don't know. I just think Liverpool's better.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I don't think anything comes to tell me no on that. Where's it at, real quick, off the top of your head?
I think it's at Anfield. Let me.
Oh well, shit. Now, why am I even giving this a thought? Man, you know what's gonna happen at Anfield.
Yeah, it's at Anfield.
Liverpool won't lose. I'll put it that way. I think Liverpool going to get a win.
I was going to say that's a very interesting comment. They're not going to lose.
They won't lose at home.
Well,
I think Liverpool win.
I think it's just interesting you said that first. That not that they will win, but you said they won't lose.
Yeah.
So is there a spot in your mind where you're like, it could be a 1-1 draw?
Well, I mean, Liverpool have not consistently been this free-flowing attack this year.
Mm-hmm.
And with Allison just coming back now, there were some issues today in the gate match with some defensive communications. Some of that was because Dejan Lovren played.
He's one of the best defenders in the world. What's the issue?
Well, everybody can't be a winner.
That's true.
But, I mean, I could see Tottenham pulling a draw.
Okay.
Because also wonky things happen in this series.
They really do. They really do.
I mean, we still somewhat argue about the Harry Kane penalty. Was that last year? That was last year.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Years ago, Dan.
Last year was the one where...
I'm sure we ran you out of the building.
Nate?
Or was that at Tottenham?
So the one at Tottenham was the one you ran us out of the building, but Lamella actually should have had a penalty late to potentially equalize. Because Son got a really late goal in that one. The one at Anfield was Kane.
It's a draw?
No, it was 2-1 because Lloris didn't control the ball at the end.
Right.
Yeah, it was 1-0 for a long time for Liverpool. Then Kane made the cross field pass to set up the Spurs goal in the 60-something. Right. And then, Liverpool got the one back late.
I mean, I think Liverpool, it's gonna be like United was this past week. Liverpool are going to be big time. I think they're going to be favorites. Mm-hmm. Oh, they will be favorites.
They should,
no doubt about it.
They should be.
I mean, they're favorites to win it. But they can't come out like they did against United that way. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested after the Champions League. I'm kind of interested to see what our midfield's going to be. Hmm? With Oxlade-Chamberlain and especially Oxlade-Chamberlain playing so well the last couple matches he's been in.
Yeah, I think.
has he done enough to maybe get a start?
Yeah, I think both team lineups are going to be very interesting to see. I'll be interested to see if Pochettino sticks with a 4-2-3-1, which I've always loved instead of playing the stupid fucking diamond. So we'll see. We'll see. It will be a big one though, and as has happened recently, I mean, all of them have been. The score lines have been close, except the last one that wasn't close. I think was to bring back Dejan Lovren. The one
like a 4-1 or something. I
thought it was 4-0. Maybe it was 4-1.
Might have been.
At that place we don't speak of anymore. Yeah, that was the last pure blowout.
Or is to show you the good place?
No, that was at Wembley, I think.
Oh, was that Wembley? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that was Wembley. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what happened at our last match at Old White Hart Lane. Shit. Now we have to do this. Now we have to.
I know what happened the last time at a neutral location.
I don't know what you're talking about. What year was that? Was that 16-7? No. Yeah, it would have been 16-17. Because we spent 17-18 and most of 18-19 at Wembley. So yeah, Premier League.
Didn't we draw for a few years there? Because Tottenham didn't beat us for 3 or 4 years there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to remember because I don't remember this game results. Let's see. Tottenham. Okay, why can't I click on this? Yeah, it was a 1-1. 1-1 draw. At White Hart Lane, and then at Anfield it was 2-0 Liverpool. I remember that one because I was setting up for Jackie's birthday while that match happened, and so I could barely watch it because I was setting up her fucking escape room. I shouldn't say fucking escape room. I enjoy that escape room a lot, actually.
You enjoy your escape rooms.
I know. I enjoyed making that. That was actually a lot of fun. I don't remember the 1-1 draw. I really wish I could click on this and figure out what the hell happened that game. But okay, so it was a 1-1 draw. Actually, you know what? I could probably just do this. I've totally derailed the podcast, and I don't really care right now because I need to know. Tottenham won, Liverpool won 2016, 17. Let's see. All goals and highlights. Oh, wait, no. Sky Sports. Yes, match report and highlights. What do you have to say about it? Was this one we actually watched while we were taping an all-new sports show?
There's a good chance. We've done that a few times.
So Danny Rose scored.
Jesus Christ. He knows a long time ago.
Yeah, I kind of remember this. Who scored for... and Vorm started that match because Lloris was hurt. And so, I remember Vorm had to make, a few really big saves. I think there was a penalty, Lamella tripped Firmino or something. Yeah, that's what... Okay. Yeah, I remember this match now. I remember. Okay, cool. Now that we've done that, let's take a look at your Premier League table so we can move on. Liverpool at the top with 25. City are 6 behind. Leicester and Chelsea are just 2 behind City in 3rd and 4th. Arsenal are in 5th. Palace in 6th. And Tottenham, along with a host of others, are in 7th. At the bottom of your heart, the relegation zone. Southampton sit outside of it on goal differential with Newcastle United, who are in 18th. Norwich are 1 point away from safety in 19th. And Watford are 4 back in 20th. All right.
Oh, real quick. Tell them where Man United are.
United, I got to pull back up the tab. Let's see. 17, 16, 15, 14th. They're joint 14th with Everton. There you go. United have a +1 goal differential. Everton are -5. So
you know that United got a drop and still drop spots. So.
Yeah. Yikes. Press F to pay respects in chat, please. Champions League. Let's do this. Group, because it's almost been an hour we've been doing this podcast. Group A. This was a surprisingly big one. PSG gets by Club Brugge 5-0. Kylian Mbappe with the fastest hat trick ever for a substitute. Big night for him. But I'd say he's really good. I'd say the big result though. Real Madrid beating Galatasaray 1-0 in Turkey. Toni Kroos with the 18th minute goal there. And this is big because if Madrid Real draw here, then it would have been Bruges, Galatasaray, and Real all on 2 points going into the second round robin. And you still favor Real to get through, Wes, but with PSG already at 9 points, this was a massive victory for Real Madrid just to at least prop them back up a little bit in the group standings.
Do you want to know one of my favorite stats for this group now that involves PSG?
I love stats. Go ahead.
Of course, Neymar did not play in this.
That's true.
I believe he's injured again.
Yes.
He was. Neymar has now missed as many matches as he's played for PSG.
Money well
63
spent.
Played, 63 missed.
Money well spent.
222 million euros world.
Money well spent. Hey, they're still perfect in the group stage though, and they haven't given up a goal yet. So I'm sure they'll still choke in the knockouts. Group B.
Mbappe 2020 to Liverpool, baby.
Group B. Bayern Munich, they had a tough one. Having to fight Olympiacos in Greece. They do get the 3-2 victory thanks to a brace from I almost said the wrong Lewandowski. Robert Lewandowski with the 2 goals in this one. Greece did try to make a game of it and did pull one back late to make it 3-2, but could not find the equalizer. Meanwhile, Tottenham, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, with a very important victory against Red Star. 5-0, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son both with braces, and Coco Lamela also picking up a goal after he assisted on the first 2 for Spurs. As we mentioned earlier, very big win for Tottenham. Not only does this maybe get their confidence going back against a poor team like Red Star, who, we say poor team, but they beat Liverpool in Red
I
Stars.
will warn you, my friend.
Yes, this did
That
happen.
return match ain't going to be no joke.
Exactly.
That away trip is not a day of walk in the park.
Belgrade sucks. But this, Wes, is very important for Tottenham because what it does now with the group standings is if Tottenham do get a win in Red Star and beat Olympiacos in London, Tottenham will go through no matter what else happens. So this was a massive. Even though, again, this is a game they should win, especially at home against Red Star, this was a massive victory to hopefully get some of their confidence going. And maybe Pochettino has started to figure out exactly who wants to be at Spurs through this match.
Well, nothing else just right now for Tottenham. Just winning a match is big.
Yes, it is.
2-run bomb by Adam Eaton. 10-2.
Wow.
Nationals.
Wow.
It was 2-2 when we turned this match.
Yes, it was. Our bad, Houston.
Why don't you put a Sune in? Maybe that would help.
Yeah, Tottenham. Great. Good job, boys. Good job. Group
That's
C.
what needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very interesting to see if this is the lineup we'll see, or mostly the lineup we'll see, line up against Liverpool on Sunday. Group C, meanwhile, not very interesting at the top as City beat Atalanta 5-1 to also be perfect 9 points. That is also their first goal given up at the group stage. But Shakhtar and Dynamo go 2-2, and now they are both level on points in the table, 4 apiece. And, of course, these two teams will match up again in the return leg in just a few weeks. But, Wes, as City starts to run away with this group, is there a team out of Shakhtar and Dynamo that you maybe favor going forward of the two?
I'd like to see Dynamo.
Yeah.
I mean, just to give us some different blood in that knockout round.
Yeah,
I mean, Shakhtar. Nothing against them, but
they've been there before. We've seen them. They had their chance one time.
Dynamo just gives you a different look.
Yeah, so get the Croatian team in there. So we'll see if they can pick up the win. That return leg will be in Croatia, in Zagreb. So we will see if they can. By the way, real quick, this is a shout out to my mom. So in middle school. We had, and she listens because she's one of our only listeners. So in middle school, we had to learn at different points all the capitals of all the countries of a region. So at one point it was learn all the capitals of Europe, learn all the capitals of South America, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to know how my mom told me how to remember what the capital of Croatia is?
How that?
Well, the capital is Zagreb. And so Zagreb sounds like grab. And Croatia sounds like crotch, so grab your crotch.
You always liked your mom.
Oh.
So when you were taking your test, did you just instinctively reach down and just give your crotch a quick 1-2?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Grab them.
Hey, perfect score, baby, perfect score. So there you go. Now no one will ever forget what the capital of Croatia
and now
is.
doing a pod with me, you're actually.
Yeah. All right, Group T. Be interested to get your thoughts on this. Juventus and Atletico both take care of business, not super convincing fashion. Juventus needing a Paulo Dybala, future Spur, Paulo Dybala, coming through with 2 goals late on to beat Lokomotiv. Atletico gets by Bayer Leverkusen 1-0. Alvaro Morata, hey, he's still alive, scoring the goal in the 70th minute. That's actually very interesting. The 2 Juventus goals and the Madrid goal came in consecutive minutes, 77, 78, 79. Very, very interesting there. So right now, both these teams at 7 points in the group, they're pulling away as Lokomotiv is at 3, Bayer Leverkusen is at 0. These two teams drew 2-2 in Madrid. The return leg will be late November as the 5th match of the group stage. Is there a team of these two, Wes? They both look likely to go through to the round of 16 in the knockout stage, but who do you think will come through as group winners?
I mean, you got to throw your money toward Juventus, I believe.
Okay.
I kind of like this Atletico team. They draw too much in the league. That's their.
Yes.
That's a problem. They have not hit. They have shown flashes of brilliance, but too often they've been like a square trying to go into a round hole. So I mean, but they're just so damn tough. I mean, they're Pochettino or not Pochettino. God, I'm sorry. They're
Diego Simeone.
Diego Simeone. I'm seeing him in my head and just could not pull the name. I mean, Diego Simeone, they're going to be tough, and you know it, and they're going to get out of the group. That's the big thing for them. They're going to get out of the group. And then I don't think anybody wants to play them over two.
No.
The young Portuguese superstar whose name is just gone at the moment, João Felix. He's out in. I mean, we'll see what Atletico do, but I think either way. I think really either way in the Champions League, you just want to get through at this point.
There you go. And both
especially when you're in a group with one of the teams, and it's you and another team. You know, you just want to get out.
And they both do look like they're on pace to do that. As we head to Group E, Napoli with a big win at Red Bull Salzburg, 3-2. Insigne with the eventual winner just minutes after Erling Haaland got his second of the match to level things up. Napoli with a very important win as this keeps them atop the group after Liverpool ganked Genk 4-1 in Belgium. The Oxlade-Chamberlain with a brace in this one. Mane and Salah adding goals as well. So Napoli currently sitting just 1 point ahead of Liverpool thanks to their victory over them at the beginning of the group stage. That return leg at Anfield will again be near the end of November. These two teams also, I think, are your two favorites to get out. Salzburg look okay. Genk, obviously not very good. So these two teams, your strong favorites to advance. But Wes, this is all going to come down to, of course, that match at Anfield at the end of November. But Liverpool doing what they need to in Belgium though this week.
I'll say this too now. I believe both teams still have to go to Salzburg.
Yes, that is Liverpool will end the group stage at Salzburg. Napoli will actually be hosting Salzburg next time we play a Champions League.
Right, they turn around and go to Salzburg.
They were in Salzburg this week. They will actually be at Napoli next time. Okay.
For Liverpool, that's just one thing that kind of makes me go, That win today against Genk. Not only, I mean, was it obviously Liverpool needed to go get a win and get their points. For Liverpool, that is their first road win in the Champions League since Munich last year.
Yes.
Before that, I think I don't think they had won a road match I don't think they had won a road match under Klopp in the group stage.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, because that first year I believe they drew a few on the road and maybe lost one, and of course last year we lost all three of our road matches.
Mm-hmm.
So for Liverpool, we don't do great. We're not a great road team. And somehow we've gotten to a final and then lifted a cup in another year. But, you know, we haven't been a great road team in the Champions League. So this was an important one for us to go and take care of business and get our points and get out. Of course, Napoli and Genk still to come to Anfield. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that, you know, obviously you feel very confident as a Liverpool fan because, like I said all the time, we're not going to lose at Anfield. Yes, I know one day I'll be proven wrong on that, but you ride that until something happens. So I think both Liverpool and Napoli are in very good positions. Napoli going to Salzburg, getting the win, that's really impressive, especially after what they had done to Genk there earlier in the round. Mm-hmm. Liverpool still have to go there. You know, once again, I said just like earlier, it'd be nice to win the, but I think especially a team like Liverpool, like, I mean, really, who gives a shit? Just get us into the knockout, mm-hmm. because that's where we're excellent is in the knockout stage. Mm-hmm. So, Napoli does hold the advantage, but they do still have to come to Anfield. So,
yeah, and that will be a very big one again. That will be November 27th. Is that match day? Group F. Press F to pay respects to Borussia Dortmund's chances of winning this group. They took a big hit this week. Barcelona, they have a bit of a squeaker against Slavia Prague themselves, but they do get the 2-1 victory thanks to an own goal in the end from Peter Olayinka, who did get the unfortunate own goal for Prague. Inter Milan, though, finally get it together. They came close. They needed a late goal to draw Prague in the first one. Got an early lead against Barcelona and couldn't hold on. And now finally a big victory in the Champions League. The dark horse we all thought they could be. They beat Dortmund 2-0 at the San Siro. This is a very big one to get them now in level on points with Dortmund. And I will also say this, Wes. Barcelona haven't been super convincing in a lot of their wins, either here or in La Liga. So is this group with Barcelona only up 3 points on Inter and Dortmund? Is this group maybe still a little bit up in the air?
I think it's still up in the air because Dortmund can play with anyone. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
That's okay. And they can also fall very hard like that.
They sure can, but they can reach these crazy awesome heights.
Yes.
And today, especially, we saw from Inter that they can play that nasty old school Italian football. Make it ugly, win 1-0, frustrate you, dark arts. You know, the shit that, like, in the 90s just, like, ruled the world. and looky who's doing it, Antonio Conte.
Of course.
Which, I mean, it's the same shit he did at Chelsea. I don't say it like same shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I say it as in it's the same MO he had at Chelsea, but, you know, what they do at Chelsea? They got the job done.
Yeah.
And he's able to do it here as well. God, it's 11-2 Washington.
My God. Their route is well and truly on.
Yeah, well on. But if Inter play like that, Inter, you know, they're missing Alexis Sanchez. Unfortunately for them, they're not missing Romelu Lukaku. They just got what Lukaku is, apparently. She sucks there, too. So.
Shocker.
Shocker. So, you know, for them, they're doing, you know, as kind of said earlier about Sheffield United, they're doing it the way. But, you know, they've done it in La Liga, or not La Liga, in Serie A, where they've started off very well. And now they've got themselves in position here in the Champions League.
That they do. One maybe notable thing for Inter, their next two will be on the road at Dortmund, at Prague, but they will close out at home against Barcelona in what could be an absolutely mammoth match to end the group stage for them. Group G, Leipzig currently leads in the group that anyone can win. I believe it's the only group where the last place team still has a legitimate chance of making it out in the top two. Leipzig have 6 points. Zenit and Lyon both have 4, and Benfica has 3. So very tight group. Benfica with a massive win over Lyon in Lisbon this week. 2-1 after Memphis Depay had leveled it in the 70th minute. In the 86th minute, it was Pizzi. Because, you know, those Portuguese, they like to go by the one named Pizzi with the goal in the 86th minute, wins it for Benfica. And then on the other side, Leipzig beats Zenit 2-1. Massive win for this team that we really wanted to see something from this year as they now take control of the group with 6 points. But Wes, this is truly, at this stage, a group that anyone could not just break through, but maybe even win. If you're Benfica, you're only 3 points back. Leipzig with 3 matches to play.
Absolutely. And Leipzig, well, I think we were all kind of in on Leipzig. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not world beaters.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, they've had a good start to the season. You know, they're playing well in Germany. Well, they were playing well in Germany. I mean, they're sitting in 5th. Mm-hmm. Well, the fifth, but they're 1 point out of first. Basically, everybody in Germany is in just a big damn group right now. But, they're not doing bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, they can be taken.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just everybody in that group is good enough to beat each other.
Yeah.
I still think Leipzig's going to come out. Thing is, I can still see Benfica finding their way in, too.
Yeah. Still plenty to play there. Who would you pick out of the other three? If you take Leipzig as one of the two spots out of Zenit, Lyon, and Benfica, who's your other pick to get out of that group?
Really, I'm going to take Benfica.
Okay.
Which sounds crazy, but
not that crazy in this group. So that'll be still a lot to play for there, and with everybody still having to play each other one more time in the round robin. And then finally, Group H, big match here. Lille with the late equalizer against Valencia to make it 1-1 there and get Lille their first point of this group stage and keep Valencia from jumping up what would have been a three-way tie for first. Currently sitting 2 points back right now of Chelsea and Ajax. Chelsea going on the road to Amsterdam and beating Ajax 1-0. VAR rearing its ugly head again in this one to disallow an Ajax goal in the first half. But Chelsea, thanks to Michy Batshuayi, also known as Mitsubishi, getting the goal in the 86th minute because apparently he still plays for the Blues. Chelsea get the big win there. And hey, everybody, I just want everybody to know.
Are y'all ready?
Christian Pulisic is okay. He assisted on this goal. Everything's fine. Frank Lampard had good things to say about him after the match. It's all looking up now for Pulisic.
Just remember, folks, if he can play, he'll play.
Yeah.
Lampard ain't that worried about who you are.
Yeah. Like
Lamps wants to win.
Hashtag trust the process.
Trust Lamps.
Such a great scouter of talent and a developer of youth.
By the way, Lamps had just an immaculate moment in his press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Where a member of the Dutch media looked at him and said, Frank, you look scared. Are you scared of Ajax? And Frank looked at him and said, I don't know what you mean. This is just my face. And they won't scare the Ajax today, were they?
So does Frank have resting scared face?
I guess he has resting fear face. Look for Jose that long.
I mean, Josie has RBF. Josie has RBF in spades.
Well, I mean, you think about it now. This too was a guy who, played just about his entire career, both on his club and national side, with John Terry and brought his lady around. So I'd always be a little frightened too.
Oh, poor Lamps.
Hey JT, we just had to hit you with that.
So we'll see if Ajax can rebound. That will be the return leg back on November 5th as Chelsea host Ajax at the Bridge. And we'll see if Ajax can bounce back and maybe make another deep run in the Champions League. Again, still sitting on 6 points. They just are now down right now in the head-to-head against Chelsea. So that is your Champions League wrap-up. Again, 2 weeks' time, we'll be right back at it for round 4 of 6 in this group stage. So that is your...
And Ed, there's one thing that we know 100% from this Champions League.
Yeah.
That Liverpool is still the 6-time champions of Europe.
I mean, I thought with your neutral ground comment earlier, I thought that would take care of it, but nope.
Nope. You know better.
I should.
You know me.
I do. So
much like JT, I'm down with OTP.
Oh, resting for your face. So let's hit the news and notes now. We're gonna kind of fly through this a little bit since this podcast is going on for quite a while already. As always, we like to pimp out a story from The Athletic. This week, I am going to do this one from Daniel Taylor. Great writer, Daniel Taylor, coming over, I believe, from The Guardian. Now writes for The Athletic. This one, since we just talked about Chelsea, why have victims of the Chelsea racism scandal been kept in the dark by the FA? It's a great read. And as we'll get to more with Chelsea later, unsurprising, if there's problems in the Premier League, it has to do with Chelsea. But speaking of, there was also a very good report on The Athletic about what the players, we talked about it a couple weeks ago when England was on international duty and went to Bulgaria and had the absolutely awful match with the racist abuse. And there's a great article here in The Athletic breaking down the 3-point plan that UEFA and Gareth Southgate have put in place to sort of what happens if they are racially abused or just abused in any way. And the point is just to talk to the referees, and there's like a warning is the first step. And then the second step, there's like a break in play. And then after the third incident, they just abandon the match. So this is a fascinating article just to see about that and to hear about what the process was and what the minds were like in the locker room. Because as was mentioned, it's not just that there's some black players on the England national team. There's also people of color in the staff as well. And because we don't see that a lot. We usually just see what happens to the players in times like this. But there are more people of color behind Gareth Southgate, and to know that it's affecting them as well is just terrible. A couple things that I actually texted Wes, and as I can't really find them in the article right now, I'll go to our text messages so I can better quote them more quickly. These are two standouts of the article. At one point, Jordan Henderson was captured in a heated exchange with the Bulgaria manager Balakov. Henderson told him what a disgrace it was that England players were subjected to this. Quote, "What is the problem?" Balakov replied to Henderson. "This is normal." And you read something like that, and then the other part was players who passed by the coach Balakov as he was having his post-game press conference, and basically insisting he hadn't heard racist abuse, which is really interesting. If you say you didn't hear it in the post-game press conference, and yet Jordan Henderson talks to you, and you say this is normal, then obviously you've heard something to claim that it's normal. So, and of course the big follow-up coming from the year is that the coach Balakov actually ended up resigning because the fans acted horribly, and he was not really that much better in how he handled the situation. And Wes, I think this gets back to, again, we feel bad for the players, and it's good that there's some level of accountability being held in the Bulgarian national team structure. But at the end of the day, still, there has to be some huge punishment leveled, or this kind of stuff is going to keep happening because, as Balakov said, this is normal. And it's not just normal in Bulgaria. It's normal in a lot of Eastern European countries.
It is, and I'm at a loss how to fix it. Well, I mean, we said how we'd fix it.
Yeah.
Throw them out.
Throw them out.
And you know what? If that's the normal in these countries, that's that country's problem. But you know what? Those fans need to be able to suck it up for 90 minutes and not be racist dickheads.
It's mind-boggling that they can't do that. Miguel Delaney on Twitter, in reference to Balakov's comments after the match, saying, given Balakov's use of "if," you'd wonder what he was thinking when the game was stopped. His level of denial is part of the problem, and that's another good point. Is like clearly he had to have been aware of what the 3-step process was when the match is stopped for a second time in the first half. Did you think it was a water break? Like it's gaslighting, and that's just so bad. Like it sucks because hey, listen, dear listener, get close to the speaker so I can have a little chat with you. We've given Raheem Sterling some shit on this podcast.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. we're
because his agent was a shithead.
yeah, mostly for the agent, and his choice of allegiance. What that feels more like banter. Maybe we could have eased up a little bit. Maybe we've picked on Raheem Sterling a little bit too much for his misplays and things like the World Cup and whatnot when he plays for England. Maybe we take some sense.
He's gotten really good lately.
He really has though. That's looking up. There's no racial to it. There's no racial component. Our ire can be felt among anything. Hey, Eric Dyer didn't look good at parts of the World Cup. Jordan Henderson didn't look good at parts of the World Cup. There's a lot of blame at the end of that one. The thing is, we like to make fun of Raheem Sterling, sometimes because he brings it on himself, and sometimes because we're just bitter that he left Liverpool the way he did. But
I mean, that's pretty much my 100% on it.
There you go.
And the fact that he used to miss like wide open goals.
Yeah, and that's funny. Hey, Pepe from Arsenal did it. This weekend. We didn't really talk about it, but when they played Sheffield on Monday, he missed a sitter that captured the essence of Gervinho so brilliantly, so wonderfully. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. But what they're having to deal with from these fans is so above and beyond the pale that your heart.
Jesus, the Nets just went yard again.
Oh my God. Your heart just breaks a little bit. At least mine does. To see that what are at the end of the day pretty good people getting subjected to this just because of the color of their skin. And look, hey, the English media, I'm not saying that they're racist. They've had a bit of a field day with Raheem Sterling too. And while we like to keep it to the on-the-field stuff, they have also thrown it to a lot of his off-the-field stuff. And there's and again, we like to use Raheem Sterling as the icon of this. There's other people. There was Tyrone Mings in his first England cap had to deal with that shit in Bulgaria. There have been others. Danny Rose.
Well, hell, the damn golden boy Ryan Madison.
Yeah.
Ryan Madison. Not Ryan Madison. James Madison.
Yeah.
Fourth president of the United States, James Madison.
Yes.
He's catching a lot of shit right now from the England qualifier. He went home sick and was seen in a casino.
Yeah. Because God forbid a soccer player who was not picked to play for England do something other than play. So.
Well, now in honesty, he was picked there and he got sent home for being sick.
Oh, okay. So.
But that said, it wasn't like he was out there throwing down $1,000 a table. He went to eat and watch the match.
Yeah. So.
I guess he just didn't want to be stuck in his house all night. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, England eat their own. When it comes to the young, they eat their own.
Mm-hmm.
And Raheem Sterling was just this like perfect storm to eat their own because he had this stratospheric rise. Mm-hmm. He left one of the big clubs under this massive cloud of controversy. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, at the time, 50 million, that was when 50 million pounds was basically 120 million pounds now.
Yeah.
So, this huge amount of money took him away, and he went to Man City with kind of the ire of Englishman's eye. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Sterling was a perfect storm. The fact that he's black, mm-hmm. I mean, I don't really think that had much to do with it. If it had been James Madison who did the exact same thing, mm-hmm. Liverpool fans would be tearing his ass up every time he stepped into the stadium. And I'm just, if Ryan Madison did the same shit Raheem Sterling had done, mm-hmm. I think he'd get pretty much the exact same shit back on him.
I will say this. I think from you, he would. And I think from a lot of other people, he would. I think parts of the media, maybe newspapers we don't like to name on this podcast, have played up some of the racial component a little bit too much with Raheem Sterling in terms of his off the field mm-hmm. things that maybe they would not do to someone like James Madison. But still, the English media can be pretty terrible. So to have that and then go on the road and face potentially even worse abuse. It's amazing what these players have to go through, and that they still want to suit up for club and country. And that, I think, takes so much heart and dedication. And of course, it's the best way. They talked about in the article at halftime, they were like, well, we don't want to stop playing, so what's the next best thing? Oh, let's just go beat the shit out of them and just absolutely pound them into the ground. And it's like, that'll probably shut them up. When they're losing 9-0, that'll probably shut them up. So, good on them. Good on that whole team for acting well. Gareth Southgate had tons of praise for them. It sucks that they had to go through it, but that England team did their country proud. So just very, very well done, boys. Very well.
Of course, they owed it to them after losing to the Czech Republic.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you. Thank you for keeping perspective.
Hey, as an England fan, I gotta keep this shit grounded. We can't be too proud of anybody, okay?
Just 5 minutes ago.
That's not how this shit works.
5 minutes ago, the English media eat their young. 5 minutes later, fuck them for losing to the Czech Republic.
Damn.
Oh, I love it.
Nothing if not consistent.
It's true. He is. Hey, we're not part of the English media, so it's fine. Speaking of racism, and hey, some of the Bulgaria people were like, England have a worse racism problem than we do. And it's like, well, no, that's fucking stupid. But England isn't perfect. A Hargany Borough players, this is in low level FA Cup stuff, actually walked off a match versus Yveltown due to racist abuse. Their goalkeeper, Valerie Douglas Pagetat, who's from the Cameroon, was racially abused by the fans of Yeovil Town, and that they had thrown objects and spat at him. That's terrible. And again, folks, thankfully we don't hear about this much in England anymore. Obviously, this was a problem back in the, I guess you call it the hooligan era and all that bullshit. So it's good that this is a horrible exception and not the rule as it is in other places. But, and maybe the fact that it's a very small club had something to do with it, and maybe the fans felt a little more emboldened to do it because of the low tier status. But it doesn't matter. Don't do this shit, guys. It looks real bad when we're trying to tell Bulgaria, no, we don't have a problem, and then you guys fucking do this. So please stop. Please. Even if it was like 5 of you, just stop.
Thanks a lot, you Jags.
Seriously. No, I can't do that bit. I'm not doing that bit.
Do we want to do one happy story in this?
Okay, I'm just gonna run through these last two real quick. I'm basically just gonna do the headlines.
Okay.
You guys can check it out for yourself, and then we can do your happy story. One, an exclusive report from The Athletic that came this weekend. Chelsea's fan group chairman, because it's always Chelsea if it's in the Premier League, has said in text messages to people that he was 1,000% against promoting gay rights, along with the club, and talking about how bullshit it is. And so, good for you. I'm not big into cancel culture, but I hope this dude is canceled. And then finally, if you thought it was contained in England and Eastern Europe, nope. Catalonia is still exploding over in Spain, and Barcelona versus Real Madrid had to get postponed because of fears over civil unrest.
Why didn't they just move it to Miami? That was awesome, wasn't it?
Take it, Charlie Stilitano. So that match, it was supposed to be on October 26th. It will now be potentially December 18th. If, things have actually calmed down by then. The world is a fuck. Wes, make us happy with whatever your story is.
Folks, United States women's national captain.
Oh!
Alex Morgan. Oh. That's right, folks. We are expecting she is expecting her first child. How I wish. Her and her husband, whoever his name is, Kid. It's his last name is Carrasco, and he plays for Los Angeles Galaxy. If his name had been Ibrahimovic, oh my God, what could we have been looking at here? Anyway,
you wouldn't have been able to look at it. You wouldn't have been able to look directly at it. That's what it is.
No, God, no. It literally would have been staring at 23 suns.
It's like staring at the Ark of the Covenant. You can't do it.
Oh,
your face.
Dr. Jones knew better.
Your face just melts off.
Anyway, that child, that golden child, is due in April. Alex Morgan is still shooting to be ready for the Olympics, which I believe is August.
That
would be pretty impressive.
Yeah. She's an impressive athlete.
I believe I saw it was due in April. Yeah, because we can count back 9 months been on, which would have coincided with my post-World Cup party schedule. So we know what Alex was doing. And I'm okay with that. Anyway, I'm a dirty human being. Yeah. But yeah, so congratulations to Alex and her husband. See, something happy, and good on them, and may it be a good pregnancy that ends with just a blessing.
Absolutely, safe pregnancy to you both, and hope it's wonderful.
Go, Alex Morgan.
Yeah. All right, so that's a happy way to transition into the watch for. What you watching in the week that was or the week that will be? Have you hit El Camino yet?
Not quite El Camino, but I am into season 5, the final season of Breaking Bad.
Captain Underpants.
God, it's a great series, man. I would say really good. Did you happen to watch it in your day?
I never did. No,
you never did. I would suggest it. That Bryan Cranston. He's not just Malcolm's dad anymore.
I never watched that show either.
Oh Jesus, hell! You would have loved that show, man.
I saw bits and pieces here and there. It's fine.
In the middle.
It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so I am hurtling toward El Camino. Maybe within the next few weeks, I will get to El Camino. So, yeah, boy.
All right.
That's all I can say. Yeah, boy. But really, I mean, that's been about all I really had the chance to watch. So maybe after I get through El Camino, give you guys more stuff. Oh, apparently, I didn't open the article and read how many episodes, but apparently this season of Horror Story is going to be like the shortest one ever. Usually I always talk about how short they are. It's only like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And apparently they're doing episodes for this season.
Ooh.
And my phone's doing an update right now, so I can't. Wah, 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 wah.
So I kind of found a show because Hulu kept throwing it in my face every time I opened the app. And so I finally, a couple nights ago, just broke down and said, fine, I'll fucking watch it. If you'll stop bothering me about it. God. It's a show called Perfect Harmony. It's the 4th of the NBC Thursday night comedy shows. We've already talked about The Good Place. We've talked about Superstore. We've talked about Sunnyside.
Yes, it has my girl from Pitch Perfect in it.
Yeah, Anna Camp is in it along with Bradley Whitford.
Anna Camp is a pearl.
Yes. Hey, you would like her. She sings 9 to 5 pretty well in one of these episodes.
I love the shit out of Anna Camp. Hell yeah.
There you go. I mean, again, if we're ranking Pitch Perfect girls, I mean, Anna Kendrick, I feel, is at the top. But Anna
Kendrick's one, Brittany Snow two,
yeah, that's fair.
I may have thought about this quite a bit.
No, that's... I'm trying to go back through. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. I think you can make an argument for Anna Camp and Brittany Snow to switch places.
I've been a Brittany Snow fan since something she was in that I can't remember now.
Fair enough.
Must have been really good.
Absolutely.
It was something scary. I remember that.
Okay.
Also making an appearance in the Pitch Perfect movie, very small one, WWE superstar Lana.
In which Pitch Perfect was that? The first one?
It was the first one. She was a member of the that like won everything.
Huh. Mm-hmm. I might have to go back and watch Pitch Perfect.
I mean, she's literally like seen in the group scene. She doesn't have like a solo scene or any speaking part.
Interesting.
Love you, Lana.
So anyway, Pitch Perfect.
Stop screen banging Bobby Lashley.
Is about Bradley Whitford trying to bury his deceased wife in, I guess, where she's from. It's very unclear. Back in Kentucky, he was the Princeton music director and was unceremoniously booted for reasons. Apparently he went Bobby Knight on people. That's never good. And so he, through happenstance, ends up taking charge of this local church choir group. And of course, because it's an NBC sitcom, they are a ragtag, racially and socially diverse group of ragamuffins, I guess we'll call them. Sure, because I'm from the 1940s.
Scamps.
It's gonna level rapscallions, if you will.
All right, C. Montgomery.
I don't know if I like this show. I've watched 4 episodes, and I don't know if I like it. Like, there are funny bits. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely funny bits, and some of the singing performances are quite good. I wonder how much mileage you can get out of, hey, he's from the big city, and now he's in rural backwoods Kentucky, and they're kind of hickish, but they have hearts of gold, and they sing.
But somehow we have a culturally diverse group.
Yeah, well, the
folks ever been to backwoods Kentucky? It's not what you would call culturally diverse.
Let me see if I can find a picture real quick of like the main cast of this show.
That's win. Final score 12-3. Go Cubs.
Oh my. Yes, go Cubs.
Go Cubs. That's win.
All right, let me. This is a good picture of most of the singing group. I'm going to share this picture right now with you.
Justin Verlander becomes the first ever pitcher to lose his first 5 World Series.
Oof. That's an oofers.
The Washington Nationals are now tied for the longest in a single postseason of all time at wins. 8 consecutive postseason wins. They tie the Boston Red Sox of 2004 and the Chicago White Sox of 2005.
Well then,
go Natitude.
There you go. I hope this. Yeah, okay, that is the picture. So
you will have to excuse me. My phone is updating.
Okay.
Optimizing at 32 of 441.
Well then, we'll get back to that later. So yeah, I don't know. Check it out if you want to. I really like Bradley Whitford. He's great in The West Wing. He's fine.
I like the look at Anna Camp. She's beautiful.
She is. She's doing her best. What's her face? Fuck the blonde. The blonde. This is gonna really narrow it down. The blonde country singer.
Dolly Parton?
No, the
Carrie
one.
Underwood?
Yeah, her.
Oh, damn it! That's not a bad thing to do.
I feel like she's doing her best. Carrie
Just,
doing this.
Just ask the dude who plays for the Nashville Predators. Oh, you meant it. Never mind. Ignore me, folks, at your own peril.
No, it's not your own peril. Anyway, Wes, speaking of ignoring at your own peril, let's get solely raw.
Let's talk about WWE.
Yeah. Hey, I can start real quick. WWE 2K20 came out. It's a hot piece of shit. It is garbage. That game is trash. Don't buy it.
Luckily, I bought which one did I buy? I think I bought 2K16, 15 or 16. And, I mean, while it was fun for a few days, this isn't great. So I haven't bought a wrestling game since.
Oh, this is... you know what the funny thing is? This game might actually just be 2K15. and they've just reskinned it.
They just updated the character list.
There's somebody who's so the same group that made this game also makes an NBA game, and somebody is like NBA 2K20, and somebody got it on for PC, and they showed that they opened it up, and the icon that appears on the taskbar when the game is open is the exact same icon from last year that has the number 19 on it.
Jesus Christ.
It's like that's how little effort they put in. They didn't even change the fucking icon. I'm sorry. This is your
people bitch about the FIFA too. Well, just to throw this out there, since my living situation changed at the beginning of the year, I have not even hooked up my PlayStation since I came over here. In a few weeks, that will change.
Hooray!
As you know, my relationship will so I will have much free time on my hands. Don't worry, folks. Wes is still a taken man. It's just, other side of the world shit. But anyway, so I'm going to update my games, and I'm going to get the new FIFA. And, they've got a new Modern Warfare coming out for Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's just called Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Which, we went through the entire Modern Warfare 10 years ago, and it's still like the best run of Call of Duty games, so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I can't believe they just called it Call of Duty.
I don't give a shit. Just get away from the damn future warfare bullshit that I had no use.
You didn't like noted child molester, what's his name? Kevin Spacey as the villain. You didn't like that?
That was good, thank you.
Okay. I think that was Call of Duty that had him. It was one of the shooter games. I don't remember which one.
It was one of them. That's all you need. It was one of them. Anyway, wrestling.
Yeah.
So apparently, we don't have an issue with Saudi Arabia.
Of course we don't.
Because WWE is going. WWE will be there on Halloween for Crown Jewel. And we're bringing out the big gun. Tyson Fury will be taking on Braun Strowman.
Wow.
Tyson Fury, the boxing world champion. And then Brock Lesnar better watch his ass because Cain Velasquez is coming for him.
Oh, damn.
Cain Velasquez, of course, the last time these two met in the octagon, left Brock Lesnar bloody, beaten, and victimized.
And remember, the octagon, that's real, not predetermined.
That's right. That's right. By the way, watching Cain Velasquez jump, he jumped the other night. I can't remember, but it was really bad. Cain Velasquez is a bad man. I don't know if Cain Velasquez can work.
Great.
And he's working against Brock. Brock ain't exactly known as much of a worker. Brock can do a lot of shit, but Brock ain't the world's greatest worker. So that's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a big event. They're having a big Team Hogan versus Team Flair deal. Bayley's turned into the ultimate bad guy now. And don't forget Bayley. Bayley was everybody. Bayley was a sweetheart. Now she's just giving up on life and just hates everybody. It's actually kind of interesting, which is nice for Bayley because it has been interesting for a while. Y'all will have to give me a pass this week. I worked Monday night, so I was kind of watching Raw while I was working. As much as I tried to ignore 911, couldn't totally do it. So, but I'll give it to WWE, man. They are doing everything they damn can to step their game up with AEW channel. So AEW remains strong, remains good early on. Chris Jericho is just, this dude is Pantheon level as a bad guy. He's just so damn good at being bad. It's amazing. I'm somewhat enjoying my wrestling at the moment. I will leave that in. I'm somewhat enjoying my wrestling at the moment.
Oh, damn. It's happening,
I
boys.
have not been able to say that for quite a while.
It's coming. He's coming back. He's coming back.
I'm coming home.
It's coming home.
Oh wait, have you seen this show on Fox called Prodigal Son?
Is that the one with the psycho killer dad who helps him solve crimes or something?
I really don't know. I literally just on mute. But it's got Tom Payne, who played The Walking Dead, and I really like. So I don't know. Maybe I might have to see something. So there we go. Watch Prodigal Son because Jesus was on it, but not the one you're thinking of. No.
Not that one. The other one.
Not my Jesus, but Jesus none the same.
Hey, we all have our own personal Jesus.
Your own personal Jesus.
Is it weird that I actually can't tell which version you're doing?
I was kind of mixing the Depeche Mode and Manson.
Well, there you go. That's why I couldn't tell, because you mixed them together.
I know Depeche Mode did the original. I think Marilyn Manson.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was kind of doing a mix of the two of them.
Actually, Marilyn Manson's version was the first version I heard. I did not know it was a Depeche Mode cover.
Didn't know Depeche Mode, man.
Dude, the only songs... I am sad to say that I know very few Depeche Mode songs, and I feel like I discovered all of them because people did remixes or covers of it. I
can get with that. That's kind of how I discovered them. I like Depeche Mode, though.
I learned about Depeche Mode because Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park, back in the very early 2000s, Depeche Mode put out a sort of a remix CD where they had other people come and remix some of their songs, and they brought in Mike Shinoda, and he did a version of Enjoy the Silence. And it's really friggin' good. And that led me to discovering a little bit of the Depeche Mode and finding the original version of Enjoy the Silence. And also really good. They're two very different energies. As you might expect. Actually, not as hip hop as you might expect from Mike Shinoda. Actually, very, very electro rock. Actually, with a very nice driving drum line. Both very, very good songs. Anyway, yeah, Depeche Mode. For all you hip kids out there, go check it out. Violator is a great CD. And just like that, we are done violating your time on the Foreign Affair podcast. Nailed it.
I wanna you like an animal.
That was 9 Inch Nails. That is the most. Okay, we'll get into this one day, I'm sure. Just like we got into that 90s music playlist or podcast. That is, I believe, the most uncomfortable song that can come on when you are riding in the car with your parents. Even if it's the radio edit, it doesn't matter. It's super fucking uncomfortable.
I feel like when your parents walk in and you're watching Wild Thing.
Yeah.
It's, oh God, no, please. You got like a minute and a half to get out of this room.
It reminds me of a Stephen Lynch song. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Foreign Affair podcast. Big thanks once again to NGSC Sports and Alicia's Pillows and Things for helping put this on. You can catch them on the social media as well as us on the Twitter. We are at AFA Pod. That's our collective handle. Wes, you are?
I'm at Wes Bradshaw 21.
I'm at Edward Green. Please tell us how much you like our 80s and 90s music references. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube via our parent show, The All New Sports Show. And you can email us to tell us about it at allnewsportshow@gmail.com. Thanks to all our podcast providers, including podbean.com, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, the TuneIn Radio app, Google Play Music, and the iTunes Music Store. So yeah, we will be back next week. I believe we are doing a live.
Are we gonna get together? Are we gonna go to school?
I'm sorry, what?
So are we going to get together and do this thing and kick it old school?
We're going to kick it old school. And we're not even doing it with a Marvel movie coming out.
Oh, we don't have any Marvel movies recently.
I know. I'm almost
Jags.
Serious. Yeah, Jags.
Freaking Jags.
So yeah, we'll be doing it live here from the new residence. So we'll figure out which room we want to do it in, but we'll definitely do it.
You could go see Joker, and we could get super dark next week.
Yeah, that's the nuts.
You want to take that trip into?
I would rather not. So I've had using notes was dark enough this week. We're good. But hey, we'll definitely be doing it live next week in the same room, so it'll be a lot of fun to do that, especially after the AFA Pod Derby. So again, check that out next week. It'll be a big one. And of course, catch the AFA Pod Derby and the rest of the soccer happening this weekend. But before we leave, Wes, anything else you'd like to add?
Man, can you believe there's only 3 weeks left of high school football season?
Wow, I didn't actually realize it was that low of a number.
Yeah, I mean we're sitting here. I mean, God, it's the end of October already.
Damn.
Baseball's already 2 games into the World Series. Everything's in it.
Oh my.
This week we step out of the Big East for the first time in a very long time. We've got Nash Central and the Beddingfield Bruins, a little Eastern Plains Conference football for all you interested parties. And that all leads up if both schools can go to Wilson County next week and hold serve. That sets up the de facto Big East Championship game next Friday night, which I may be previewing for you some next week, between Rocky Mount and Southern Nash.
Ooh.
Here we freaking go, bro.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Oh my.
Is that one?
Oh man, that is amazing. So
Excited.
it's gonna be a big one, folks. That is always a classic. When those two teams stick up. Beyond indeed. So, from McCall and Crane, Wes Bradshaw, I am Edward Green. Thanks for joining us here on the Afford Fair Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. Until next time, everyone, stay safe and enjoy the football.
Good night, Manchester. Congratulations on one victory. The biggest win of the year. The biggest win of the Solskjaer era.
Yeah. To draw is to win. Oh, man. So I don't know what happened. Wait. Oh.
Did you forget to record the show?
No, I definitely recorded.
This show is sponsored by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out the Facebook page, Alicia's Pillows and Things, where you will find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. Check out the pillows and stools of your favorite sports teams. Maybe you want a set of your kid's favorite cartoon or movie character. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to NGSCsports.com and go to the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage to complete your order. It makes a great gift for Christmas at an affordable price. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.